Nigeria Info.
So the CP called me. I sent him my address. He came. They told me the CP was downstairs. The CP wasn't down, but I think he's the Deputy Commissioner of Police. So I opened the door. They wanted to grab me. I now pushed back the door and locked it and went upstairs, got through to my governor. They tried to break the back door. It's a security door, so they kept hitting it for over 1 hour and they couldn't get access. So my governor came, asked them for the warrant of arrest, and why couldn't they invite me to the police, that I would have come instead of going to take a woman like a criminal. So the governor took me in his car, and here I'm refugee in the government house. But I want to thank His Excellency for keeping to his word that nothing should happen to the daughter of Rivers State. So here I am in the government house, and that's all. I was supposed to be going today to Abuja to make my submission before the House of Representatives, the committee. I'm sure it's about that. Meanwhile, the man that harassed me is at home. The man who stole the money is at home. The man who stole government files is at home. The man who took money is at home. The man who said I should go and take an oath is at home. It's a criminal offense. It's life imprisonment to take oaths, to even give to me, to even offer me an oath. It's liable. So I'm here.
So how can you hear? What options are you resorting?
Well, I'm sure my lawyers would be working on it as we speak. But
do you really feel safe now?
I feel very safe in the government. So the governor took me in his car, and here I'm refugee in the government house. But I want to thank His Excellency for keeping to his word that nothing should happen to the daughter of Rivers State. So here I am in the government house, and that's all. I was supposed to be going today to Abuja to make my submission before the House of Representatives, the committee. I'm sure it's about that. Meanwhile, the man that harassed me is at home. The man who stole the money is at home. The man who stole government files is at home. The man who took money is at home. The man who said I should go and take an oath is at home. It's a criminal offense. It's life imprisonment to take oaths, to even give to me, to even offer me an oath. It's liable. So I'm here.
So how can you hear? What options are you resorting?
Well, I'm sure my lawyers would be working on it as we speak. But
do you really feel safe now?
I feel very safe in the government house.
And not just government house now.
Oh, no, I don't think Akpabio can't kill me. Definitely, he can't. He can't. This is not. I'm not from Uyo now. He can't kill me. And why do people think he has the monopoly of violence?
But what really is the issue about?
I think he wanted to stop me from giving my submission today. He succeeded, but I'm sure the House of Reps will give me another day, and Nigerians will hear more. I had stopped talking. I just wanted to make my submissions and then go away. But with this, and they say wise men who refuse to do anything suffer the rule.
The locked horns between the former managing director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, Joy Nunieh, and the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Godswill Akpabio, over the allegations of corruption has further led to the police in their large number storming Nunieh's residence yesterday morning. Now, the security operatives, in their large number, about 20 of them, over 20 armed policemen as a matter of fact, were reported to have broken into the ex-NDDC MD's house in Port Harcourt at about 4 a.m. Now, the development came ahead of Nunieh's appearance before a Senate committee, the House of Representatives investigative hearing on NDDC in Abuja on Thursday, yesterday. Now, a call to the Rivers State Commissioner of Police, Joseph Mukan, at the time of the officers of the Nigerian Police Force presence at her home, revealed that the CP had no idea on the early morning visit of the police to Joy Nunieh's house. Joy Nunieh was finally rescued from being arrested by the police through Governor Nyesom Wike's immediate intervention. You can see the video, it's everywhere online. You can see it. Now, the former MD of NDDC had previously accused the Minister of Niger Delta, Godswill Akpabio, of allegations and counter allegations, including sexual harassment, including budget padding, add fraud to it, among others. Which, of course, Godswill Akpabio is not keeping quiet. He has denied every allegation. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has also responded to this particular ugly, messy incident rocking the NDDC, especially between Nunieh and Akpabio. He put out a statement yesterday. He gave his assurance, he gave his word that his administration would put in place a transparent and accountable governance framework, not only in the NDDC, but in all other institutions of government. Let's track back a little bit. On February 19, 2020, President Muhammadu Buhari removed Nunieh as acting managing director of the NDDC and appointed Kemi Bradikomo Daniel Ponde, a professor of medicine, to take over. He also ordered a forensic audit on the commission's finances. Now, should investigation look beyond the allegation on grounds and questions the characters of the personalities involved? I mean, should we go beyond the allegation back and forth and look at the characters? It's quite shameful what is going on. It's a huge distraction. As a matter of fact, that is why we will try and bring some clarity into this conversation this morning, because Achike Chude is joining me on the show this morning to talk about this. Achike, a very lovely morning to you, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good morning, Sheriff.
Let's start this way. What came to your mind, Achike, when you heard about the situation that happened yesterday at Joy Nunieh's house?
What came to my mind? The stealing of the Nigerian maize, the invasion of the National Assembly, the invasion of the houses of judges at night, in the deep of night, and so many other acts of brigandage that we have been seeing in the country for quite some time now.
Right.
So actually the invasion of Joy Nunieh's house was no surprise, because precedences had already been set. So it was a natural trajectory to what we have been seeing already in the country. So it wasn't really a surprise, but it was sad. It was sad that, in a democracy, after 20 years, going to 21 years now,
right,
unbroken democracy, that you cannot say that we have actually advanced the cause of democracy in Nigeria. That is what is deliberating about these things when they happen. It just shows that we have not progressed. It just shows that we are still, operating, that we are far from where we ought to be at this particular point in time after over 20 years of democracy.
Right.
It's sad. It's sad, really sad.
Let's go back to what happened yesterday, because it looked like it was going to be an unlawful arrest of the former NDDC boss, Joy Nunieh. Presumably, no one actually understands. I don't understand the reason why the police visited her yesterday. The report has it that the former MD of the NDDC is being invited for questioning by the police. That's according to a Daily Post report of yesterday. She was invited by the police for questioning, but we don't have that confirmation yet. It's just a report by Daily Post. But what is your thought on this? If she had been invited by the police, does that warrant the police visiting her home at 4 a.m., about 20 armed policemen?
It's a Gestapo tactic. It is an action that is meant to shock and cow and to intimidate. And that is what it means. Because we are not be told that she's a very dangerous criminal, and that the police and those who are sent to arrest her should be wary because she might be armed. And so she is a vulnerable person. She's a lady, she's a woman. And so when you send cloak and dagger, you use cloak and dagger tactics against such a vulnerable person in the dead of night. What are you trying to do? And again, we are not even sure that those people were sent to actually arrest her.
Right.
Who knows if anything untoward or unwholesome, more gruesome might have happened to her. We don't know. If that had happened to her, we will just hear stories about perhaps the fact that she has been assassinated.
Right.
Thank God that did not happen. But we know that this is not what the law provides.
Right.
First of all, the people that were there admitted that they had no warrants. They had no basis to be there. And even if you wanted to do it the proper way, she has not shown any intention to flee from the country.
Right.
She made the accusation she made openly in the public space, and she has been operating in the public space, before now. And so a simple invitation by the police, polite invitation by the police would have sufficed, and I think she would have turned up. And besides, what will the police be inviting her for? I think if it is about the NDDC matter, it has gone beyond the police, and that's why I say it is a tactic of intimidation, because this is something that's already been investigated at the level of National Assembly.
Very true.
And she was scheduled to appear before the National Assembly. Was it that yesterday? And I think she would have informed them that she had a higher priority at the National Assembly, and then they would have allowed that. So it was not about wanting. This is not an invitation. This is a rude invite.
Right.
It was the first invite.
If you are watching right now on Facebook, you can see the video of what transpired yesterday at Joy Nunie's compound in Port Harcourt. You could see the car driving out right now of Joyce Nunieh. That's Governor Wike's car driving out right now. You can go to our live video stream on YouTube. That's youtube.com/Nigeria Info. We are also streaming videos live on Facebook as well. Go to Facebook, our Facebook page. That's Nigeria Info FM on Facebook. You'll be able to watch what we're showing you right now on Facebook and YouTube. Feel free to join the conversation on those two platforms and drop your comment there. Let me know what you think about this. Achike Chude is joining us via the telephone this morning. Achike, now look, watching this video right now, I'm sure you must have seen the video yourself. How would you describe the intervention of Governor Nyesom Wike to have come to Joy Nunieh's rescue?
Well, I think if you look at Wike, Nyesom Wike has been one of the controversial governors in the country.
Right.
1999, from 1999 till date. We've had one or two others. Fayose himself was also a very controversial, governor. Some of and so they have this style, this stance that in a way might not go down well with a lot of people.
Right.
They tend to believe that they are crude.
Right.
In the way they respond to issues. But sometimes people could describe them in a way as nuisance. Even people who but they have their nuisance values.
Okay.
And the reality is that there are times that he has spoken on the minds of a lot of people, especially even though people might also disagree with some of the things he's done. But the reality is that with regards to this particular event that happened, unfortunate event that transpired yesterday, I think the overwhelming majority of people are completely in support of what Wike did. The fact that he intervened to stop an unlawful action being carried out by members of the Nigerian police, and that shows him truly as truly the chief law or security officer of
right.
the state. But we know that under the constitution that are not actually chief law officer or chief security officers of their state. This decision, especially the fact that when it comes to the issue of policing, that
right.
the Commissioner of Police takes a directive from the Inspector General of Police and not from the so-called designated security chief. So I think that he has done well. He actually promised that he was going to give her some level of protection for as
right.
long as she's on the soil of River State.
Right.
And I think it is in furtherance of that promise that he made that he has acted.
Now,
it was also annoying when you get to a point where he was saying, all of you people, there's no warrant, and you mean all of you?
Right, right.
Massed in front of a woman's house just for the purpose of arresting her. What kind of country is this? And I think a lot of people agreed with that aspect of what he did.
Let's quickly talk about this before we move on to the NDDC proper. And what we want to talk about is how this whole thing started. Nunieh, Akpabio, counter allegations after allegations, accusations after accusation, and then this. Isn't this? Are we not having too much of distractions in front of us, Achike?
Yes, I would agree with you. The political class, not just in Nigeria, but sometimes they tend to, have a way of diverting public attentions from issues that are germane, issues that are of critical importance, to the people.
Right.
And it's at such moments that they come up with all kinds of issues to distract people's attention from asking the relevant questions. But really, if you look at the fact that the Nigerian people themselves have not really advanced, they have not really advanced in terms of furthering their own democracy. Somebody, once said that the price we have to pay for democracy is eternal vigilance. So Nigerian people have not exactly been vigilant. They have not been watchful over their democracy. And so you now find a situation where even if Nigerians are not distracted by all that is going on, Nigerians have proved incapable of responding positively to their situation and
right.
engaging, the political actors and getting them to, do what is right by them. And so, in a way, it's a distraction, but it's a distraction that has been caused by the contradictions of the ruling class in the country. This is something that has been going on for so long. And the reality is that people might walk in darkness, but eventually their deeds will be exposed in the light of day. And I think that is what exactly is happening.
You mentioned earlier that Nigerians are not asking the right questions. In this case, at this point, what are those questions that Nigerians need to ask?
Well, I think they should be asking why the minister is still in place, why he is still the minister of the Niger Delta.
You mean Godswill Akpabio?
Yes, because very weighty allegations have been made against him, and I won't say the credibility of the allegation, but the weightiness, of the allegation, it stems from the fact that it is the MD of the NDDC, acting MD of the NDDC, who should know, that is making these allegations against Akpabio. It's not a cleaner. It's not a driver.
Right.
If those people were to make these allegations, you
right.
would ask, how do they have an idea of the administrative structure and
right.
the functioning and the operational structure of the NDDC?
Right.
But this is somebody that is sitting on top of the administration of the NDDC. So when she makes an allegation such as this, these allegations are exceedingly very weighty. And so you would expect a government that is serious about corruption, that, of course, the Mago Amala thing is still ongoing, and that, in a way, has also even undermined the effort of the government at fighting corruption. You would expect that what they did with over the Malami and the Mago issue would also be done, and that you set up a panel, and this time around, a panel that will sit in public so that we know what is going on. After all, the allegations have been made in the public space,
right?
So that they can now come. And so that Akpabio, Godswill Akpabio, will prove his innocence.
But there is an ongoing investigation by the House of Reps. Isn't that enough?
If that itself is also running into troubled waters. Of course, you know that the very first time that the management team of the NDDC went to the National Assembly,
right?
The acting MD right now,
Mr. Ponde.
Yes, thank you. Asked to be excused so that they could get their facts right. Because when it comes to facts and figures,
right,
they didn't even get their acts right. There was a gross discrepancy between what they had spent and what is supposed to be left in the coffers. So they asked, for some time to go and then come back. And then when they now came back again, there was another messy crisis. And that is the fact that they were questioning the chairman of the committee.
Right.
They were questioning his neutrality. They said they accused him of corruption. And so, when you hear these things everywhere and people are just so tired and so sick of what is going on, when you're talking about a government in an administration that is fighting corruption, we're having, the chairman of the panel himself is being accused of corruption. Of the committee, so at the National Assembly. So how can he sit, to investigate an issue that he has a wholesome relationship in. It is the same thing that we had, I think, with was it Ote, the woman that was in charge of the stock and the commission, and under the PDP administration of Jonathan, when she accused Ohambe of having benefited from the activities of the SEC,
right?
And sit in judgment over them.
Let's take a listen. Let's take a listen to the MD's allegation yesterday. This is what he said. Achike, you have stated it, but let's hear it directly from him when he was talking yesterday in front of the committee. Lagos, listen to this.
We are not comfortable with the chairman of this committee presiding over a matter in which he is an accused party. The NDDC has over the time accused the Honorable Olubunmi Tunji Ojo of different crimes against the NDDC and its people. And he has responded in press. He's an interested party, and we do not believe that the NDDC can have justice because he cannot sit in his own case.
Point of order,
and as long as he is the chairman of this committee, the NDDC will not make any presentations here. There is no point of order here, please. I'm just stating our stand here.
Achike, there you go. You heard him. Where does this leave us in the fight against corruption in Nigeria? Achike, please hold your thought. Let's go to break. When we return from the break, we'll bring you the news. And after the news, Achike will be here to still, dissect this issue further. And, of course, we'll be getting your thought as well. Remember that we started this conversation at 5 a.m. this morning, and it's been very, very heated from that 5 a.m. till this very moment. We'll still bring you in on this show, Lagos. We'll still hear from you. But stay tuned. We are back in a moment. Stay here on Nigeria Info.
Other stations just mumble words. We talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. We don't just talk.
Assembly panel alleges fraud by 65 dredging firms in Lagos.
We inform.
Nigeria's compliance with the oil production cut will lead to deeper economic contraction and fiscal deficits.
So you assume that, you assume that it is preaching to tell somebody evil is evil and good is good.
Okay, sorry for using that word.
No, I'm not offended.
Tune in every weekday and weekends for the best radio experience. Right here on your number one station for talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Set your time on 99.3 Nigeria Info, the correct time.
It's 8 o'clock. The news update on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
The federal government has inaugurated a campaign strategy team for Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala as she contests for the position of Director General of the World Trade Organization. The team is led by the Minister of State for Industry and has officials of the ministry and others from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs as members. The FBI has launched an investigation into the hacking of the Twitter accounts of America's richest persons and topmost politicians. The accounts of Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Barack Obama, and Joe Biden were among those hit in an apparent Bitcoin scam. And it's not just the FBI that is probing the hacking. The U.S. Senate Commerce Committee has demanded Twitter brief it about the incident next week. And in sports, Real Madrid are La Liga champions. Zinedine Zidane's side wrapped up the title with a game to spare as they beat Villarreal 2-1. Karim Benzema scored both goals for Los Blancos. The league win is Zidane's first with Real Madrid, and he says it has made him happier than winning the Champions League. You can follow us for more engagement on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM, on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos, and on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. I'm Sheriff Quadry. Let's get back to the crossfire. Good morning to you.
Join the conversation no matter where you are. Download our mobile app by searching Nigeria Info FM on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. Also, get news updates in sports, entertainment, news, and current affairs right on the app. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info, Lagos. Good morning to you. Welcome back to the Morning Crossfire. 2 minutes gone past 8. Chike Chude, a policy and development expert, joins me on the show via the telephone this morning. And we're discussing the NDDC crisis, Joy Nunieh, and of course, Godswill Akpabio. We are majorly focusing on the police invasion of Joy Nunieh's residence yesterday. If you are watching us right now on Facebook and YouTube, you can see the video as I'm talking right now of the police invasion of Joy, or attempted invasion of Joy Nunieh's residence yesterday in Port Harcourt. I want to know what you think about this development. I want to know the perspective from which you want to approach this from. I'm really interested in your own thought about this. So we'll be taking your thought, your comment, your observation, your opinion on this development. You can call the studio line 0700 993 993 993. That is 0700 993 993 993. You can watch the video again on our live stream on Facebook, facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. As I speak right now, you can see me. You can watch the video as well. You can also watch it on YouTube as youtube.com/Nigeria Info FM. Ajike, thank you again for remaining with us on the Crossfire.
Thank you very much.
All right. Let's have you know that yesterday it was raining, and then the governor of Rivers State dared the rain to come to the rescue of Joy Nunieh, former MD of the Niger Delta Development Commission, as a matter of fact, Interim Management Committee of the NDDC. She has accused Akpabio, Godswill Akpabio, the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, of so many things. I'm just going to reel through the allegations that she leveled against Akpabio. He said Akpabio engineered her removal for failing to dance to his tunes. She said he warned that if she did not follow his instructions, she would be removed. Achike, please listen to this. I'll get your reaction after all of these. And he said Akpabio asked her to take an oath of secrecy to stop her from exposing any of his dealings, but she refused. She said Akpabio asked her to change the dollars in the NDDC account that he asked her. He sacked the head of the legal team, who is from the north. He said Akpabio also removed all directors who refused to follow his instructions. He said Akpabio would never sign any document, but rather ask his subordinates to commit fraud. She also said that she slapped Akpabio, that's the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, for sexually assaulting her, a claim for which the minister turned down to a request for clarification. Achike, you have heard all of these allegations. Let me get your thought on these allegations.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about the ability of time to expose certain things that are done in the darkness. And so perhaps some of the allegations that she has made, perhaps they might not be proven because there are no cameras, especially the issue of making sexual overtures. I'm sure that would interest a lot of people in this season of anti-rape programs that a lot of people have been carrying out. And the harassment of women. Right. But then the issue of the allegations that she made, like I said, they are weighty allegations, and these are things that can easily be proven for some of them. The people that were removed, the directors that were removed, where were they removed, and what was the process and the procedure for removal? Right. Because, this is an institution that has structures, and so you want to believe that one of the things we need to look at is were the processes for removal of these directors, followed. If they are not followed, then perhaps the allegations that she has made against them, against the minister, are true. Then again, not wanting to append the signature to certain documents. Right. That would depend again on the administrative structure and whether the minister's, signatures are also required. These things are all about procedures, and these things can actually be proven. Right. And then so many other subject allegations that she has made, very weighty. In fact, she said that she had a lot more to, say before the National Assembly when she does appear before them. So all of these things, I think, really should be investigated. But if you ask me whether the political class in this country and the political actors are capable of things like this, we all know it's not even. I think a lot of Nigerians will tell you that they're capable of doing worse. Right. Because we have seen it happen from time to time. We have seen people abuse their offices at the drop of a hat in this country. So it is not a new thing. But I think what has happened is that perhaps, somewhere along the line there was a falling out. Right. Either because she herself is principled, or because there was a relationship one way or the other, either administratively or whatever, and then they fell out. So something actually gave. Achike, I think you have said what is on my mind a bit. So my question here is, she has put forward all of these allegations, right? Allegations that we can't prove. She hasn't. There is no proof yet. But if you look at what is circulating in the public space, everybody is hanging Akpabio already. So, like I said earlier, are we having so much of distractions as to the substance, the real reason why this came to the fore in the first place, which is, of course, massive corruption going on in the NDDC? Let me cast your mind back a little bit, Achike. So NDDC was created 20 years ago. And it was created to just bridge the development gap in this oil-rich region. You must have been to the Niger Delta before. It's just shameful. It's unpardonable. It's unforgivable
for that region to still remain the way it is. So the
Yeah.
substance of this conversation should be the effectiveness or inefficiencies of the NDDC.
Yeah.
Trillions of naira voted for the NDDC for the past 20 years.
Good.
Billions of naira in abandoned projects scattered all across the NDDC. We are not talking about all of those things.
Good. You have. I think aptly described the situation as it is, and that is the reality. Look, the other day I had a conversation with you, and I talked about centers of corruption in this country. There's no doubt that the NDDC is a cesspool, a beehive, of corruption in the country. There's no doubt. There's no doubt that the NNPC is also one of them. There's no doubt that, look at the stories we heard about the refineries and all that. For the NDDC from inception, it has been, shrouded in controversy. There have been all kinds of scandals.
Right.
The only thing that has happened this time around is that, and all of these corruption scandals preceded Akpabio. There's no doubt about that. Even the predecessor of the NDDC, Ompadek, also had a lot of, if you remember, Eric Opia, and then the allegations against him and the fact that he fled the country, at a particular point in time, then it was now succeeded by the NDDC. And the same mind-boggling corruption, has been going on, undermining the original philosophy or the original principle for the setting up of the NDDC, which was based on the agitation of the people of the Niger Delta, an agitation that led to insurrection, and sabotage of the national oil facilities in the country.
Right.
Depriving the country of much-needed foreign exchange. It was all of these acts of instability and destabilization in the region that put much pressure, needed pressure on the political class for them to come up with the issue of 13% derivation, the NDDC, and then the Ministry of the Niger Delta, Ministry of the Niger Delta. All of these things were aimed at addressing the gross imbalance, the inequities, the injustice that had been going on in a region that is supposed to be the signature or the signature of all eyes in this country in terms of development, in terms of progress, because it is the Niger Delta region that lays the golden edge, I would say, in the country. And so, just like you said, it has always been unacceptable, an embarrassment and a scandal for a region that is supposed to be the wealthiest in terms of resources to be one that is shrouded, in absolute poverty, and all that. And so it is when you now look at what is going on, the quantum of corruption, mind-boggling, unconscionable corruption that is going on in that region, you cannot be but very, very angry, extremely angry about what is going on within the NDDC. And this is something that we should be looking at. If you look at even the budget, like the other day, I was telling you that when the management team of the NDDC came to the Senate, there was a gross discrepancy between, monies, realized, monies expended, and monies that were supposed to be in the coffers. And that's why the man had to go and come back the next day. There are all kinds of frivolous items in terms of their expenses. They tell you that they spent over 100 million naira on condolences. How many people died in within the NDDC that they were doing condolences of over 100 million naira? You had so much.
It's actually 1 point something billion.
Oh, so mind-boggling, annoying, And then they spent about 3.4 billion naira on COVID-19. COVID-19, in what sense? How did they spend 3.4 billion naira? Well, we know, and the question I asked is, how many federal medical centers in the South South region benefited from injection of funds from the NDDC? How many teaching hospitals benefited from that? Because I know, as at the last time I spoke with the president of the National Association of Resident Doctors, Sokomba, Aliu Sokomba, he said that not one single kobo had been given to any of the federal medical centers and teaching hospitals in the country from the federal government itself, and I want to believe also even from the NDDC. So, how can they treat the people of this country this way? How can they treat the people of that region this way who had suffered for so long? And I can tell you that Niger Delta, with all the monies that have been generated or that have been given to the NDDC and the Ministry of Niger Delta and the derivation, the Niger Delta today would have been a kind of paradise. if all of these monies had been judiciously used.
Why are we not having this conversation right now? I mean, why are we being distracted?
Well, I think actually the distraction should be a secondary issue. The primary issue should be based on the allegation that Joy Nunieh had made against Akpabio, and it goes beyond him. We should have had before now. I mean, serious forensic probe into the NDDC activities of the NDDC from inception to date, so that we can get to the bottom of this. Let us know exactly how much has been stolen. Let us know, those who did what, in the NDDC, and look for ways, to punish them. But sometimes I even get so worked up with the system, and the criminal justice system in the country, especially when you look at the fact that we are supposed to be in an anti-corruption, government.
Right.
That the two principal people primarily responsible for fighting corruption in the country are accusing one another of corruption, the MAGO and the AG. So ultimately, at the end of the day, who is actually going to do the investigation? So that's why some of us are saying, based on all of these things, that Nigeria is fast becoming, this administration, I will must say, so that if it will help to put them on their toes,
right,
so that they can actually begin to do much better, to realize that, look, that, that history, that the verdict of history beckons.
Right.
It is, this government is becoming one of the most corrupt in the history of this country. And I do not say this, lightly. I have looked at what is going on all over, and that is the impression that you have. But the government still has an opportunity to get its act right, and to change the ongoing narrative that people are beginning to see about the actions and activities of the government. So I agree that the issue is, why are we where we are in this country beyond the NDDC? Because as you're talking about the Niger Delta region, every other region in this country is also immersed in the same crisis of corruption. Most of the governments in the country. So it's not just a Niger Delta issue, but I also understand that right now it's in the eyes of the storm, and we have to talk about it in specific terms.
Let's take some quickly, Achike. Let's take some calls and some messages, so we can bring in our third guest, which is of course the people. Lagos, listening to us right now, can jump on this conversation. Please, when you're calling, to make things very short and sweet, would allot 2 minutes to each call, so we can have enough conversation from Lagos out there. And please turn off your radio. A lady will pick your call. Please listen to what she's saying, because she will need your name and where you're calling from. She will tell you to do the right thing. While you're holding on, she will patch you to the studio, and we can have a conversation, with you. Victor Adokie Georgie says, Sheriff Quadry, the actions of the gladiators perpetrate the insane character around a supposedly development agency, denigrates the corruption fight of government of the day. If it were me at the helm of affairs, I would have resigned. That is what Adokie is sending to me on Facebook right now. So Stan Okodeji says, please, the real issue is what the NDDC is an interventionist institution and not a palliative institution. These are the real issues. So Nunieh, Ponde, Akpabio, the police are all to be investigated. Let's speak with Ezenwa, who is in the corridor. Ezenwa, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. This is Ezenwa from Ikorodu.
Welcome.
You see, why this thing is happening like this is because of politics in this country. It's not the way politics is supposed to run. This is Akpabio now supposed to be arrested. Understand me? But nobody will arrest Akpabio because he's a APC member. This is this woman is saying, and nobody will listen because this woman maybe he may not be an APC member. All those Niger Delta, I go to our Niger Delta. I come from Niger Delta. If we go to all the whole Niger Delta states, there's nothing is done in that place. And we hear a lot of billion. And when it comes to APC, nobody arrested anybody because na party member. Understand me? We see where this thing will go now. At the end of everything now, Mago is released. Nothing happened.
That's not true. That's not true. So what is happening with Magu is they cannot keep him there forever. All right, Izenwa, please correct that notion. Investigations are still going on in terms of as regards that particular development. So yeah, don't say nothing is happening. It's not correct. It's quite wrong. We'll speak with Prince YS in a moment, but let's quickly take this message on YouTube. Sheyi Daramola on YouTube says, only God knows what would have been her fate if she was whisked away in the middle of the night. What a country we call Nigeria. Brenda Onoha on YouTube says, the woman should have spoken out when Akpabio harassed her then. I think it's a case of a relationship gone sour. God help Nigeria. Salami Benjamin is also saying something on YouTube, and Salami says, Akpabio is such... no, I would not read that. I would not say that. Ola on YouTube says Nigeria is a failed country because of our politicians. Prince YS, good morning to you.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, Ashuke, today. You see, Sheriff, what I know about Niger Delta, no, it does not start today. The forensic audit is to find out how much they spent since 1999, up to date. The government that make effort to do this, I must commend them, number one. Number two, that woman with the Minister for Niger Delta,
right?
Both of them, maybe they have the agenda. Number one, the minister have any right, maybe the one behind the police, you have any right to draft any police to that woman's house because the woman is ready to go and testify at the National Assembly. Maybe the present committee, they don't want the woman to come around to come and testify.
You are speculating. You're speculating.
Okay,
there's no proof.
Why I'm saying is this, Sheriff. Why should those people walk out from National Assembly? Are they not play the same trick? Why should they walk out? They want to know what is really going on, and they are not ready to testify. That's why I think so. And finally, Niger Delta must be developed. We cannot, for me, since 1999, the previous government, did they pump all the money pump into that place? That's why I say I will commend the present government by now. Let everybody know what is really going on. And finally, Mr. President, sir, if any minister is want to hinder the progress of Niger Delta, the minister should go. That's my stand this morning.
Thank you, Prince YS. Isiche joins us right now. Isiche, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning. Do? I'm doing okay. How are you?
Quick one. Yeah. I'm of the opinion that the character of individuals goes a long way in defining their personality. If you look at the narrative of the former NDDC lady,
right?
She made mention of one of the directors, who was Cairo Ojigbo.
Right.
Cairo Ojigbo was the representative of my constituency between 2003 and 2007. I don't want to go far into his personality, but whatever the lady might have said concerning him in respect to every allegations,
right?
With the Cairo I know is true in totality. And also, I want to state that it is time that I have not heard the women group rise up to defend one of their own. You understand?
Iche, so this is exactly what I asked earlier. Like, is this a distraction? I mean, what is it with women group defending one of their own? Shouldn't we be talking about accountability here? Why is gender important in this conversation? Isiche, please help me out.
Yeah. Sheriff. You know, you may be there is no in justifying or defending or analyzing an issue. It's usually not 100%. It doesn't follow breathing 100%. There are piles of emotions that tend to dent the argument of an issue. But in a nutshell, I want to state categorically that we are getting distracted by incidences such as this. You understand? But however, I still want to state that we need more individuals, because you see, in Nigeria, I know people can use their quote and unquote their power to make something wrong right and make something right wrong. You understand? So we are the masses. every group, women and other, you come out. You said it in your program, Sheriff, that the public opinion is calling for the probe of the minister of Niger Delta. You understand? So we should look at it in that line, and so we'll achieve solution faster.
All right.
Because the thing is getting too much.
Yeah, it is. Isiche, thank you so much for talking to me. I really appreciate it. We're gonna go to YouTube and take a few comments on YouTube. Then we go to a break. Right. Let's see the YouTube messages that we have here. Quite a number of them. Felix Okereke on YouTube says the leadership of NDDC has no legal right to walk out on a constituted authority like the National Assembly. Sheyi Daramola is saying, is replying to somebody that the person will be in shock because Isiaka Saliu is saying that what is happening, please, Nigeria Info do a detailed analysis of alleged money stolen versus alleged money borrowed in the last 5 years. And Sheyi Daramola is responding and saying that you will be shocked. Let's go to break, Lagos. When we return from the break, we'll speak with Achike Chude a bit more on what is going on in the Niger Delta, especially the NDDC, and, of course, all the distractions surrounding the allegation of fraud against the management of the NDDC and against the Minister of the Niger Delta Affairs. It's almost like everybody is accusing everybody of corruption. I mean, this is what is going on. Everybody is accusing everybody of corruption. I mean, it's even got to the point of people, NDDC, accusing the chairman, House Committee, that is investigating this particular situation, Honorable Olubunmi Tunji Ojo, of corruption. So who is going to investigate? I beg. We'll be back after this. Stay here on Nigeria Info. We are the nation's #1 talk station. I'll be right back.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this.
This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
It is the Morning Crossfire, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Thank you, Lagos, for staying tuned. We are back in the studios here. 8:28 is the time right now. So we have taken thoughts from YouTube. Yes, comments are still dropping on our YouTube because you can watch us live right now on YouTube and Facebook. You can watch live. No, I'm not talking about listening, as in watch live. I mean, you can see me in the studio here and how our beautiful audio-visual studio looks like. Yeah, that's right. I have to flaunt it. So go to our YouTube page. That's youtube.com/Nigeria Info FM on YouTube, or just search for Nigeria Info 99.3 on YouTube. You'll be able to see me live and drop your comments there. Nigerians are engaging on our live stream right now as I speak to you on YouTube. Same for Facebook. Facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM on Facebook. You'll be able to also watch live right now. And we're discussing the invasion of Joy Nunieh's house in Port Harcourt by men of the Nigerian police, even though the IGP has denied any knowledge of such development. The police commissioner in the state has denied any knowledge of such commitment or such development. Now, that is what we're talking about. And my question is, do you think we are being distracted for the meat of the entire saga rocking the NDDC? Have you ever thought of the fact that this is a distraction? A huge distraction. Listen, my job is to talk about what is happening. And my job is also to point you in the direction like we should all be focusing on. So while police might have invaded Joy Nunieh's compound yesterday, there is bigger issue, a bigger issue than that we should be looking at. Are we focusing on those issues? Think about that for a moment, just for a moment. Think about it. It hurts because I've been to the Niger Delta. I stayed in the Niger Delta for 7 good years. That's why I'm passionate about this. You should go there and see what people are going through. They drive the economy of this country. They sustain the life of this country. Now go and see what's happening there. A full ministry. A full agency. And look at what's going on there. Look at it. And we're busy discussing individuals. They are the ones we're talking about. Individuals. Personalities. When we have bigger issues that we should be focusing on. Some valid questions that we should be asking. I'm going to go to WhatsApp right now and take some messages on WhatsApp, okay? Good morning, Sheriff. This is Tarila Murphy. Tarila Murphy is sending this in from Lekki, and Tarila says, you see, I'm from the Niger Delta, Bayelsa precisely, but ask me, I have given up on those people from that region. That's Tarila, somebody from that region. This person understands. And you just have to understand if you've been there. Okay, I'll take another message from Folabi Ladipo, and it says, this Nigeria is a very interesting country. Somebody must have given those policemen money for that operation they embarked on. The IG and the Commissioner of Police in Rivers State must investigate the issue if indeed they don't know anything about it. Oh yeah, they should investigate it, definitely. Now, if IGP and Commissioner of Police denied sending the team, I see the attempted invasion of Joy's residence yesterday as a movie written, scripted, directed by Nyesom Wike just to play a maverick he's always claimed to be. Kelvin is putting forward his own conspiracy theory right there. Lillian from Ikorodu says this woman should give account of the money that was under her care and leave all these trashes she's vomiting. The house should not allow any room for diversion of topic. Lillian from Ikorodu sent that in. Obatunde is on the topic as well. Obatunde says, it is quite unfortunate that the next level Nigerians expected from the APC is now reversed. How could Nigerian police go out 4 a.m. to arrest that woman who had not been confirmed to have committed any crime? Honestly, this administration is a big mess. Okay, I hear you. Let's get back to the phone lines. We'll come to Facebook in a moment, all right? But let's see if we can get somebody in. Hello, good morning to you. Oh, we lost that. While we're preparing for the next person to come on, I'm going to go to Facebook and take some messages on Facebook very quickly. Elizabeth Buratu George on Facebook is saying that... okay, thank you. And he's saying journalism is supposed to be the eye through which citizens see the nation's affairs, but it's falling short, like it's the other key sector as education, health, judiciary, etc. Nigeria is veiled by the blanket of bad governance. However, God will set us free on time. Okay, let's speak with Ike, who is in Festac. Ike, good morning to you.
Hi, Sheriff. Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, Sheriff,
sir?
You see this matter that is happening, You know when two people start something that is sweet, nobody used to hear it. But when there is no problem, that's when you start hearing all the things that this person has done, this person has not done. Now, when these two people started, like Babi and this lady started, when they were having their good discussions, talking well, everything was going all right, we didn't hear it. Now, we're not hearing all this one. Why are we hearing it now? Because the matter is about to change. Somebody is now decamping, or somebody is now leaving one person's interests and not going to fight or save their head. That's why this is happening. But the truth is, it's like they say that, you know, like in American movies when they say one good guy will know one small information and the whole world start looking for him. That's exactly what happened to her. Now, she has a bunch of information that probably she was involved in some kind of talks that they probably would never have allowed anybody hear about it. Now, the lady is about to go rogue to just say, you know what, all die and I die. Let everybody just see what they need to see. And now they're not going to pick her up to make sure they keep her to silence her. And the thing is, Sheriff, don't worry. Sooner or later, when this whole fire goes all out, we will now start hearing the amount of crime, the amount of NDDC feels like another country of its own, and because of the amount of money that these guys have, they feel so powerful. How could they have walked out on the Senate? Who are they? Are they above the law? But because of the fact that they give them this amount of power, and this amount of money that they're banking on, they feel they're untouchable. This thing is about to come out, and now they're all feeling like, okay, we need to do something. We need to act fast. Because if this thing goes all out, if this thing goes all out, a lot of people might take for this fall.
Thank you.
A lot of them might take for this fall. Even Abadi himself is not even feeling comfortable anymore.
Thank you, Ike.
For the IG to deny that operation yesterday, Haba, some people, just like Magu was saying, dog chop dog. Now,
thank you, Ike. I'm sorry, I've been keeping Akeem on the line for a very long time. Akeem, hi, good morning to you.
Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning to you. Thank you for your patience.
I believe the first thing to do is for the federal government to find out who sent the police to her house.
Okay.
We will then know the motive behind the invasion. And then for Governor Wike, he should not make himself to be a rapid response squad. As a governor, he's supposed to protect himself. You don't just
word.
To rescue somebody, because if you have a police commissioner, just call the police commissioner, go to the police and see what is happening there.
Okay.
If the police commissioner has gone there, he will arrest the police men that were there. Then we know who sent them and then the motive behind the invasion. Then that's one of the unravel too many things. That's just it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for calling me. Wow, I didn't see that coming at all. Rapid response squad. Oh my word. Okay, I'm going to go to Facebook very quickly because, listen, everywhere is full in front of me. Messages everywhere. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, the calls. So I'm just going to take one from Facebook, then we go back to on the telephone. So Benjamin Ibrahim, scholar on Facebook, says, failed and shameless politicians whose only achievement is a display of violence, blatant oppression of the weak, and misuse of security forces. Will they deploy this number of security personnel if they hear attacks in any part of Nigeria? Bigger shame to poor young people who helped them get into office through violent rigging of elections. Just look at the movies Nigerians witness on a daily basis. You young thugs, well done. You all have done great jobs. Have you not finished spending the change they gave you? And he's shaking his head. Anonymous is joining us from Ikeja. Hi, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Sheriff.
Good morning to you.
Yeah. You see what is playing out in the country today. The presidency cannot say they are not aware of it. It is designed in a way that they do it to subdue the masses. Let me ask, how can they be appointing, reappointing, and making appointments to those that have headed a lot of portfolios in this country? Akpabio, is he supposed to be there after 8 years as a governor? So now, the NDDC people that walked out of the Senate committee,
the Reps Committee,
even the senators that are about to hear their case, their hands are not clean. They themselves, their hands are not clean. The presidency, they don't have good record. Their owners are not clean. So what do you expect? So for the man that said, excuse me, the governor of River State shouldn't make himself a rapid response squad. If Wike had sent his commissioner who takes order from the
IG,
what do you expect? They will even go and aid that adoption.
But the IG has denied, the commissioner has denied.
They will always deny. We know that's how it plays. No, let me tell you why I want to remain anonymous.
Yeah.
This thing plays across all corners of this country.
Of course.
Every aspect. We are not safe.
Of course.
Let me say, do you know that somewhere at the airport, let's say in the airport, we have intruders. They call them stowaway that always climb the aircraft, want to get access to the aircraft. Yeah.
True.
Sometimes brand new Hilux vehicles were released for airside patrol. Those vehicles never get to that quarter for patrol to take patrol of the airside.
Do you work at the airport?
Yes, I'm in aviation. Yes.
So you understand what you're talking about. So go on. I just wanted people to understand you first before. Go on.
Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The general managers and the top officials of the airport now hijack the patrol vehicles, leaving rickety ones for the airside patrol. Thereby, you have people on patrol will push vehicles on the airside. Meanwhile, the brand new ones, the general managers and the of top officials that have Corolla, private cars, still are in possession of Hilux buses that are meant to be used at the airport, at the tarmac.
What do they do? What do they do with these Hilux trucks? What do they do with them?
I mean
the ones they hijacked. The ones they hijacked.
They use it as their private. They use it as their private vehicles, including. Yeah, they use that as their private cars. I'm telling you. So what I'm trying to tell you is the system is not working. Things are really bad in this country, and the masses cannot be hoping on God to rescue. God has done his part on this country. Everything is left for the masses to stand up to their right. If it is revolution, whatever that will happen, let it happen so that this country will be okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Anonymous, for calling me. I mean, that is the situation. You know, early this morning, if you started this conversation with us at 5 a.m., we had this kind of Jonathan calling, and Jonathan said, look, I mean, you're talking about police going to join Nunieh's house, and we're talking to some people you were blaming, you were naming and everything. How about individually? This is what we do. My brother is a policeman. Anybody offends you, Kia, Otila, Balakba. Go and pick up that person because your brother. Even those that don't even know anybody from police, just go to a police station and pay them, and they come and arrest somebody with no warrant. So before we start naming, before we start shaming publicly, maybe this is just a reflection of who we are. It's not even maybe. It is a reflection of what happens in Nigeria every day. You know a military man. You are an ex-soldier. You are a retired police personnel. You are an Air Force officer. Nobody can pass when you are driving. This is what happens every day in this country, and you know it. Good morning to you, Bikunle.
Good morning, Mr. Sheriff. God bless you front and back.
You too.
Now, it's today I'm hearing the word RRS, so Rapid Response Court. May God help us. Mr. Sheriff, do you know what? Why a man from Borno will never hate the Niger Delta NDDC?
Right.
Because they believe that a Niger Delta man will look after the affairs thoroughly, genuinely, of the Niger Delta area. That is why you cannot see an Hausa man, somebody from Sokoto, oversee that agency. But today, we have the Niger Delta man. What is happening to NDDC? It's about human. We are not good in this country. We are not good. People of Niger Delta, seeing their people suffering, underdeveloping them, siphoning their money, is terrible. It's terrible. May God help us. On the Joyce Nunieh, okay, it's a scam. On a wash, na movie with the wash, Mr. Sheriff. God bless you.
Thank you for calling me. Appreciate it. Protege on Twitter says, I'm a Niger Delta, and for once I'm giving it to this current president for having the courage to investigate the NDDC, something other presidents couldn't do. At Evexo, you should. Patrick joins us right now. Patrick, hi, good morning to you, Patrick.
Good morning, Cherry.
Good morning.
Well, I just want to be very brief. Since the IG has denied the knowledge of the, policemen going to Joyce Commissioner 2, well, let me say this. As the day, I was the one that sent them. Since all of them are denying the fact, I mean, the country is all. This is just the truth. The drama is too much. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick, for being very brief, although we lost you for a bit there. Let's go to Facebook and take some comments on Facebook. We'll try and distribute this our time equally and evenly as well. Victor Adokie Georgiou says, the actions of the gladiator, I think I've taken this, right? Okay, I've taken it. So let me take Bolan Akimbami's message on Facebook. And Bolan says, Port Harcourt and Abuja shows are diversionary. The real issue is to uncover those who rob NDDC blind and deny Niger Deltans dividends of democracy. And yes, I agree with you. That is the real issue. Stan Okondeji says, please, the real issue is that the NDDC is okay, I think I've taken that as, oh, wow, this is long. Anoze Emeka, I will try and take part of your message, okay? Anoze says, the attempt to clamp down on Joy Nunieh by unknown persons in the force sent by who is attempt to divert attention from the real rot going on in the NDDC, where huge sums are just being shared without proper accountability. And it's also sad to hear that since under Jonathan, contractors have always been paid without executing the job until President Buhari regime discovered the scam, and they still want such dirty scams to continue while poor people of Niger Delta continue to suffer neglect and poverty. Okay, let's stop there. It's quite a long one, pretty long one. We will quickly cross over to WhatsApp before we now come back to the telephone. Like I said, we'll try and get everybody's thoughts as quickly as possible. All right, so let's go. Who is this person? Okay. I'm gonna skip your message and go to another one. Okay, let's see this one. Your name is Debbie C. from Shemul. Debbie C says, in a Senate climb, if IG of police and Commissioner of Police feign ignorance of invasion of Mrs. Joy's house, that can be seen as insubordination of authority. The prime suspect in this saga should be on house arrest by now. I mean, Akpabio, Minister of Nigeria Delta Affairs, and former MD of NDDC, Miss Joy Nunieh, so that proper investigation can take place. All these added up to disreputation of this country at home, in the sub-region, continent, and global view. WC, thank you for your thought. I'll take one more, then get back to the telephone. Hussaini Musa says corruption is in the NDDC is lack of honesty between the region and their leaders. Their leaders should be held responsible, okay? Thank you, Hussaini. Appreciate it. So we're going to go to the phone line right now. It's 8:49 from our studio. Please, Lagos, let's make this conversation as short and straight to the point as possible. George is calling us from Ejigbo. George, good morning to you.
Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is George. I'm calling from Ejigbo.
It's good to have you.
Yeah, my take is concerning Ababio. Ababio himself has baggages of corruption. I don't know why such a man should be made to head that position. And besides, the invasion of Joy yesterday 4 a.m. was uncalled for. It was unconstitutional. They've infringed on her fundamental human rights because how can you invade somebody's house 4 a.m.? There was no formal letter to her to appear, and she refused to appear. I am from Niger Delta. What is happening there call for serious concern because there's no development there.
Right.
Nothing is working there. Everything is in shambles.
It's sad.
Good morning. Have a nice day.
Good morning, George. Good morning to you too. Do have a great day. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
It's Ode Emmanuel Iheme from Ikorodu in Lagos.
It's good to have you. Please turn off your radio, please, Emmanuel. Please turn off your radio.
Is it better now?
You need to turn it off. Hello, good morning to you. We lost that as well. Emmanuel, are you there? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yes, there's something I need to understand. Is it a case of accusation or accusation and counter-accusation? Because I don't understand if somebody's accusing some other person and the person is the one arresting the other person. It seems as if it's just a case of bandits in control.
Just to be clear, right? We don't know who was arresting who. Let's not jump the gun because we don't know. People are just speculating, so we don't know. We don't know the facts.
Okay. Let's assume that we don't know, but in that caliber of arrest, I think that no such arrest of that caliber or person should take place without passing the table of the IG of this country. And the IG is saying, I don't know. And I should think that by now, the police system should be in hot soup. It should be on fire by now.
Right.
But as at this morning, we should have had at least another line of the story because it calls for immediate response of the IG to take actions and get stories out for people to know what's happening.
Right.
It's just a story we are hearing. For me, it's just a script that is being played.
So you would agree with others that say that maybe it's just all a distraction?
It could be. Because I don't see how powerful some people will be to walk out of the
of the Senate committee. Yeah, right.
This is a joke.
You just don't believe it at all. Anthony, thanks for calling me. Let me speak with Uchenna. Uchenna, good morning to you.
Yeah, Sheriff, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sheriff, we have problem in this country.
We do.
Sheriff, in all honesty, God will help me to bring out children who will look at the face of evil and say this is evil. We have people who have no conscience. We have people who can do anything long as they remain in power. Let me tell you, it's as if we don't know. There are some people that are calling the radio station and I get annoyed. The very day will stand up and say, look, enough of this nonsense. These people will run away. How many are there in numbers? How many are there in numbers? And they held this country to the jugular, and we are suffering. People are suffering. Thank God for the exposure that Nigeria Info is doing. We're able to see how people that are paying themselves palliative. I am from Imo State. You can never see a non-completed project in Imo State done by NDDC. And money allocated for all these projects. Everything is that done sharply or not done at all. And somebody is telling me that what is under normal circumstances, what is that you're doing in the government as we're talking? These guys are known to be corrupt and have no conscience at all. What are they doing in the government? You heard when I think it was Arumote that was talking about Harambe. The woman, you could see pain in that woman's heart. So that woman, even if she knew quite well that the growth in NDDC is so much. That she was talking out of anger. I watched her.
Right.
Our psychologist, I could see from the angle this woman is coming.
Listen, everybody knows, Uchenna, everybody knows that NDDC is on another level of corruption, on another level entirely. But we are not having that conversation. We are being carried away. Uchenna, thank you for calling me. We're being carried away from the real issue. Listen, we're not done with this. We'll talk about this next week. We'll definitely bring it back because there are other areas that we need to touch base on. Many thanks to Achike Chude, by the way, for joining us on the show this morning. We lost connection with Achike Chude, but we couldn't reach him back. So, Lagos, this is what we're going to do right now. We're going to play just a minute, all right? Are you ready?
It's entertaining, exciting, and puts money in your pockets. It's Just a Minute, a game show brought to you by 99.3 Nigeria Info. Call in to any of our shows, The Morning Crossfire, What's Up Lagos, The Sunny Side, and Hard Facts, and answer as many questions as possible in just 60 seconds. And we'll be giving out 10,000 Naira every day. Winners will be announced on Hard Facts with Sandra Ezekwesili. Just a Minute, the game show for everyone, right here on your number one station for talk, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's play, let's win, let's talk.
Hello, good morning to you. Good morning. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Lukman.
Lukman what?
Yeah, Lukman Aro.
Aro. Have you won Just a Minute before?
Yeah, that was 7 weeks ago.
It doesn't matter. You've won. All right? Let's give another person a chance. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing okay. What's your name? Quickly.
Hello?
What's your name?
Jonathan.
Jonathan, you want to play Just a Minute?
Yeah.
Have you won Just a Minute before?
No, never.
Okay. He said never. Give me the last 4 digits. Oh, don't worry about the giving because of time. After the game, right, you have to stay on the line so that a lady can get your details, all right? Okay, so let's play Just a Minute right now.
This is Just a Minute.
Jonathan, what is the Nigeria Info FM Twitter handle?
The Nigeria Info Twitter handle?
Yeah.
At Nigeria Info 993.
Mention 3 segments of the Morning Crossfire.
3 segments of the Nigeria Crossfire. I think Just a Minute. The headline news. And just an economic show.
Who were the major personalities that dominated today's conversation on Morning Crossfire?
Joy Nunieh and Professor Keme Omoye.
What is the name of the Hard Facts host?
Hard Facts host, Sheriff Quadry.
You blew that one.
Sorry,
big time.
Sandra.
Jonathan, just stay on the line, okay? Your details will be gotten. You got just one question correctly, all right? Stay on the line. So, Lagos, that is the show today. Thank you all for being a part of it. Just a minute, we played on What's Up Lagos on the rest of our shows, all right? Stay here on the Morning Crossfire. Stay here on Nigeria Info. Stay here all through. You can listen to us online as well across all our portals. I'm Sheriff Quadry. Bye for now.